I'm Lonell Williams of 3LWTV, and this is a video response to the video A Sin is a Sin is a Sin, posted by my girls Candy and Skittles of Sweet Addictions TV. If you are watching this through the 3LWTV channel, be sure to check out the ladies of Sweet Addictions TV. I just live for these girls. Candy and Skittles. Candy and Skittles. First of all, when we go hook up and hang out again? Okay, I'm sorry, that's off point. First of all, thank you for continuing the dialogue and for taking the risks of just, for the feedback that you may be potentially getting, both positive and negative, and putting this out there. You brought up some very valid points about homosexuality and homophobia. Now, I don't typically engage in these kind of debates, but because I have the utmost respect for you ladies, and because you asked me to, or more like Candy didn't really give me a choice, now did she? Did she, girl? Anyway, here's my 2 cents. Now, first of all, I'm not here to challenge or change anyone's spiritual or religious convictions. I would pray only that my comments will help diminish some of the misconceptions about homosexuals that exist out there, as well as to eliminate some of the ignorance. Now, first of all, God made me gay. Yeah, I said it. God made me gay. And God made me gay because God knew I could handle it. Now, to those of you who are judging uh, gay people left and right and condemning them to hell, first of all, you don't have a heaven or a hell to put anyone into. Now, if God can take this whole vast universe and create it without your help, I'm sure God can take care of judging a little homosexual without your help. Now, that being said, let's move on to some of the points that you ladies spoke about. Choosing to be gay. Now, personally, I don't think you can choose to be gay. Now, I can only speak from my own experience, but I don't see how you can choose to be gay. You can choose to live a lifestyle. You can choose to practice certain behaviors, but I can put my penis into all the vaginas on the planet. It's not going to change the core of my orientation. Some people, say, well, why did you choose to be gay? But my question is, when did I choose to be gay? Probably right around the same time you chose to be straight. Now, the only choice that I made was to live my authentic self. That's it. Now, people, I think one of the other things you ladies talked about was people looking down on homosexuality and it's like the ultimate sin. Um, well, unfortunately, we like to oppress one another, and as long as we can keep someone else down, it lifts us up, or makes us, at least we think we're lifting ourselves up, but really all we're doing is, kind of feeding our insecurities, but what we're feeding them is toxic anyway. Uh, and typically I find people that hate the homosexuals the most, or hate anyone, or hate anything about someone, it's usually something that they hate about themselves. I'm just saying. Another thing, there are gay people all over, and part of the problem with the communication and the stereotypes is that we look at the images in the media and we see the extremes. But you have to realize gay people are extremely diverse and have and continue to make incredible contributions to this world, and not just fashion, but music, doctors, lawyers, politicians, ministers, aplenty. I mean, the man who organized the march on Washington with Dr. Martin Luther King was gay. Uh, I mean, they're just the Sistine Chapel. You think that was painted by a straight person? Come on now. Come on. But yet it's one of the most revered pieces of art in the world. Come on, just hang in there with me. So no, we got to look beyond the stereotypes is what I'm saying, and just to not judge, but to value each other on an individual basis. You don't have to condone the way I live my life, but hello, it is not your place to condemn it. Okay, does that make sense? because I may not agree with what you do or how you live, or I may not agree with certain things in your life, but I don't, it's not for me. But I respect you and I respect your choices and the way you choose to conduct your life. Now, if I have a difference or I see that you're going down the wrong path or what I think is the wrong path, um, or something that's not in your best interest, then it is my responsibility to not only pray for you, but to pray with you, not to judge you and to cast aspersions like my shit don't stink. If I'm really all about that, then it's really my time to step up to the plate and approach you and pray with you. Hello. Okay? Because again, gay people come in all shapes and sizes, thugs, b-ball players, all kinds of athletes, all of these things that you associate with like masculinity or real men. They're gay people that fit right into those molds as well. But we're too big, we often look at the stereotype. So I'm just trying to get us to expand our thinking. Now, I did have to laugh, Candy, when you were talking about Red Lobster. He shall return and you are fucked in the game. You're so wrong for that, girl. So wrong for that. But you do have a point. I mean, you really do have a point. It's like how one sin cannot be greater than the other. Or does it? I mean, I don't profess to be extremely versed in the Bible, but does it say that this sin is greater than that sin, or that this is like the express lane to hell, and if you just eat shrimp, you'll just get there a little later? I don't know. I'm just saying. But then people use the Old Testament for this and the New Testament for that, and it's just too much madness. So with any reading, I think any book you read, any spiritual um, concepts you adapt, you have to look at that. You have to look at that the letter of those laws. You have to look at the letter of the text, and you have to read it from a place of spiritual wisdom. And you can only get that by praying and opening your mind to accept it. Because you may read one thing, and I could read the same thing, and our interpretations would be different. And you can't tell me that's not true, because all these different denominations of churches wouldn't exist. All the different religions wouldn't exist. All the different viewpoints of the world wouldn't exist if we all, were on the same page, literally. Pardon me. Now, uh, I guess, I mean, you guys really talked about a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to babble and babble and babble, but really what I want people to understand, just, you don't have to, you don't have to accept homosexuality or accept something you don't know or appreciate or like about a person. You don't have to accept the condition or the act or their orientation or their state of being in order to respect them, in order to love them. That is just the basic human condition. And that, I have friends, I have very conservative friends that, are totally against homosexuality. Now, I'm not out there trying to recruit them. All I'm asking you is that you get from your life as much joy, peace, and love that I get from mine. And it really is just that simple. So at the end of the day, you don't have to accept homosexuality in order to respect me as a person. You don't have to accept homosexuality in order to support my right to have the same legal, civil, and human rights that you have. Those are two different things. The what your views or your spiritual religious views are over here, and but you don't. But the basic principle of love is right in the middle, and that's just all I'm asking for you to adapt and to accept. So at the end of the day, please stop strangling me with Jesus and start living like him. If you want to have influence over my life or over someone else's life, practice what you preach. Demonstrate, demonstrate those principles of loving your neighbor and not judging and walking in your truth and in your light, because that will have major influence. But as long as you're coming at me with judgment and negativity, I'm not going to hear that, because all I see reflected is your inner turmoil and your own self-hatred. So then at that point, it's probably my responsibility to grab your hand and pray with you. So just again, if you live those principles, demonstrate, don't castigate.